Shortly after getting married, Sophia began to notice some strange things about Chief. He only had intercourse with his wives when they were on their period, and there were 5 live lizards under his bed, which he fed every morning. He also forbade his wives from leaving the mansion without his permission. Once upon a time in the city of Abuja, there lived a beautiful young woman named Sophia. Sophia always dreamed of living a life of luxury. She longed for expensive trips, a mansion, and beautiful designer clothes. Her friend Maria was married to a billionaire, and Sophia couldn't help but envy her. Whenever they met, Sophia would gaze longingly at Maria's designer handbags and expensive jewelries, wishing she could have the same things. Sophia was married to a kind and loving man named Mike. They were comfortable, but not rich. Mike worked as an administrator in a drilling firm, and Sophia was a stay-at-home wife. They lived in a modest house and did not have much money for extravagant things. Sophia's desires for a luxury life began to make her arrogant and disrespectful towards her husband. She would constantly complain about their lifestyle and compare it to Maria's lavish one. Her family and friends tried to caution her, but Sophia refused to listen. She believed that money was the key to happiness, and she was determined to get it by any means necessary. Even Maria, who had experienced both sides of life, tried to speak to her. "My friend, honor your husband. He may not be rich, but he loves and cares for you. Not all that glitter is gold," Maria would say. But Sophia was blinded by her desires and refused to change her ways. As time went on, Sophia's arrogance turned into abuse towards her husband. She would belittle and humiliate him in public, causing him great pain and embarrassment. Mike couldn't cope with her behavior and finally filed for a divorce. Sophia was relieved, thinking she was finally free to live the life she always wanted. She began to follow Maria to social functions and parties, where she would meet rich and influential men. Soon, she caught the attention of a wealthy chief, Chief Amadi. Chief Amadi showered her with luxury gifts, trips, and even bought her a car. On her birthday, Sophia was excited. She thought her dreams were finally coming true. Chief, who was already married to 2 wives, asked Sophia to be his 3rd wife, and she gladly accepted. They had a lavish wedding with all the finest things money could buy. Sophia was living the life she always dreamed of. But little did she know that it would soon become a nightmare. Shortly after getting married, Sophia began to notice some strange things about Chief. He only had intercourse with his wives when they were on their periods. And there were 5 live lizards under his bed, which he fed every morning. He even forbade his wives from leaving the mansion without his permission. Feeling trapped and scared, Sophia confided in Maria, who was the only person Chief Amadi allowed her to see. Because Maria was his best friend's wife. "I told you, dear friend. Welcome to the life of wealth you always wanted," Maria said with a laugh. Sophia realized too late that her desire had led her down a dark path. The mansion she once longed for had become like a coven, and she was becoming a shadow of her former self. She had nowhere to turn, as her family didn't want to see her, and Chief had complete control over her. Sophia soon realized that Chief didn't care much about her, as he had already found a new lady to shower with his wealth. She longed for the freedom she once had and regretted her choices. One day, while watching the television, Sophia saw her ex-husband Mike being interviewed. She was shocked and disappointed in herself when she found out that Mike had just been appointed as the managing director of Better Oil, one of the biggest oil companies in the country. She couldn't believe that while she was chasing a life of luxury, her ex-husband had become successful through hard work and determination. Sophia's life had become miserable, and she realized that the saying, "money cannot buy happiness," was true. She had lost her family, her self-respect, and her freedom, all in pursuit of wealth that now irritated her. Sophia regretted her choices every day. She had learned the hard way that true happiness doesn't come from material possessions, but from the love and contentment within oneself. With this newfound clarity, Sophia made a brave decision to reclaim her dignity and independence. She walked away from the gilded cage that had ensnared her, which was her marriage to Chief Amadi. She was determined to rebuild her life on her own terms. Though the road ahead was uncertain, she embraced the journey with hope and resilience, knowing that true wealth lies in the richness of the human spirit, not in a glitter of gold. This story teaches us to be content with what we have. It teaches us that we should always respect and cherish those who love us. It teaches us to always listen to wise counsel. It also teaches us that perhaps the grass isn't always greener at the other side, and no one knows tomorrow.